grey, a rusty old banger in the driveway. One of us will maybe wear a toupee.
You ready for the ooh?
I will be in love with you.
This is amazing. You
Miss
are
Lauren.
amazing. You are amazing. This is absolutely freaking phenomenal. It's what? Week number 2. Wow, Flavie is getting confetti. Flavie's getting confetti. Awesome to see all your beautiful faces. Dory, Nilsa, if we can see you, we'd love to see your beautiful smile. We have Monica tuning in from the airport. She will be in the airplane during our session, so she's just holding space for us as long as she can, and she will hold space in the air because we are all going to the air. We're flying high. So before we start with an introduction of what we do every single time for the next 7 weeks on the first training of every single week, I want to look back with you on what we did yesterday. Because again, you're going to learn some cool new stuff this week, and thoughts might come into your mind like, oh my God, this is a lot, or oh, I'm so on track, I love it, or oh my God, other people are doing so amazing, I'm not there yet. So let's just recoup what this is all about. Like, what did we learn last week? Like, what is public speaking really about? Let's put it in the chat for a moment. And yes, Flavia, I will send the lyrics. That's a really good idea. It's about transformation. Yeah, what else? Creating transformation. Impact. Yes, Nilsa. What else? Believe, feel, and do. Well, someone put the prompt somewhere and did the exercise. Well done, Chris. Well done. Connecting with others. Yes. Yes. And what is a stage? What's a stage? Play in state. Yes. Yes, Flavie. Bring your play state. What is a stage really? If we're talking about public speaking, like where can you put that into practice? Everywhere. And what do we mean? Everywhere. Can we get some specifics in the chat, guys? Anywhere, anywhere. It's all correct. What specific things? The supermarket, yes. Zoom rooms, yes. Church, yes. What else? Because you got the exercise last week. The chiropractor, yes, I know Noelle actually got a speaking gig from her chiropractor. The coffee place with patience, yes. Anytime we open our mouth, absolutely. Any discussion, yes, yes, absolutely. So the skills that you're learning in these things, they don't have to digest into this one epic speaking engagement that's called a TEDx or whatever place you have in your dream, right? We, unless we're talking to ourselves, well, you can be your own stage. Yeah, it's everywhere we go, everywhere where there's another person in front of us that might be benefiting from what we have to offer, which is the transformational journey that we facilitate. And we know as transformational speakers, it goes even further than that, because it's not only your own stage and your own people, but the people that you're talking to. You can also ask, what are 3 people that you think should really benefit from the place I come from, like from the transformation I facilitate? Because let's iterate it. There's 2 kinds of people that people buy from. Who are they again? What's the first one? We're going to do this faster and faster because it's the most important thing to really install into your body. People like you. People like you. Who we can relate to. Yes, the one we can relate to. The ones that we aspire to be. Oh my God, Soraya is like overachiever over here. Number 2 is already Soraya. You're getting 10 points right here for over delivering. You get to catch them, okay? They're coming your way in 3, 2, 1. Okay, there you go. Very well done. So people buy from people just like you and people that you want to aspire to be. I'm gonna plant a seed over here. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how you can do that in a really fun, impactful, and easy way. Okay, so how can you create a connection with the person in front of you? But basically, stages are everywhere. We know that we can facilitate a transformational journey. And we know that the person in front of us might be someone who needs our help. But we also know that the person in front of us might know other people who know that need our help. Does it make sense with two hands in the air? Perfect, 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 perfect. All right. The goal of today, my friends, is to create the fundament of the framework from the now to the new. Last week we talked about it, and that's really the fundament of everything that you're going to share. We know what people believe, we know what people feel, and we know what people do. Because we talked about the vacation that I think Sonia was going to have in, where was it again, Sonia? It was South America. It was
Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro, right? Because for us to get Sonia to Rio de Janeiro, who might just freak out by airplanes, we need to know where she is now. Because when we know where she is now, we can really facilitate that emotional journey and create a transformational path for her. But if we don't know where she is now, which might be the fear of flight, and we don't address it there, she will not step into the airplane. She will not get to Rio de Janeiro. So the reason why we build this framework is not to fill in the framework. The reason why we fill in the framework, and why I'm going to ask you to fill in the framework every single week, is because every time you think through it, every time you talk about it, every time you learn something new, you start to enrich what the now versus the new is. Because the goal of that fundament is that we start to really understand where people are now and where they are going. We don't need to say that literally, but we need to know it so well in ourselves that everything we say, we bring them along that journey. Does that make sense? Are you willing to fill in the form today, knowing that it won't be perfect, but you will fill it in no matter what? Because today will be a milestone where you filled it in. With a raise of hands, who's willing to do that? Brilliant. So today you're going to, and yes, we put like the frame of the workbook in the chat. So it's just that format alone. So that's what you're going to fill in at the end of the lesson. We're going to listen to 2 other examples. So last week you got me and Joy. This week you will get 2 other examples. But before we do that, last week I invited you to go on a journey, on a challenge, where you would reach out to 30 people who either know someone that can put you on a stage or can put you on the stage with them. And the invitation was to do that for the first 5. So every time we have a training on a Wednesday, we're going to share some wins, and we're going to celebrate each other on the progress that we made, and we're going to learn from each other what's possible, because you see the momentum of other people, you get inspired to do it too. So who would love to share a win, something that they implemented, that they learned last week, and now they want to share that with their group? Noel, and then Soraya, and then Sonia.
Well, this has been not from last week, but something I have been dreaming for 4 years. Yesterday, Mastermind flew me to Scottsdale, Arizona to interview me in Dean Graciosi's big stage. And it was amazing. And I said yes, because I learned in this class how to say yes every time they asked me to do something. I went from feeling I didn't matter when my girls left the nest, and a few years back, I was so confused. I didn't know what I wanted. And all of a sudden, yesterday, I'm sitting there. When I was on the airplane, I had tears coming down my cheeks, and I'm thinking, now the makeup will go wrong, and I'm not too good at organizing, so I don't have anything to replace it with. But wow, when you decide something and when you open up to receive, it's not only you can go and look for stuff, but you can also be in an open state, and then things start coming to you. That's the magic that is happening to me. And if I wasn't ready to speak because I didn't learn it from Lori, remember, Lori, in that same studio, you promised me you were going to make me a good public speaker. We still have the video, it's really cute. And
Yes.
yesterday when I was there, I was thinking about it. I have to put both of them on social media.
Oh, that's so
Bye.
cool. That's so cool. Congratulations, Noelle. And let's think back of the 8 building blocks of the fundament of these trainings. One was create a win-win-win scenario always. And I kind of want to just digest what Noelle is saying to also look through the lens of how can you apply this in your stuff. Because basically what Noelle is doing, she's giving an interview. She's giving insight. She's going to give insight in how she went through the journey so other people can be inspired by Noelle's journey, right? This is an interview. Let's also think through the lens of when someone asks you, can you create a testimonial for me because you went through the journey? Like how many people, when they hear it just once, create actually the testimonial? Or are there people in this room who just maybe forget that in the daily life? Let's just say that, right? And what if you can see a testimonial as a stage as well? Because what happens with a testimonial? It highlights your journey. It tells the audience exactly what you do. If you're creating an awesome testimonial, because coming from that win-win-win mentality, you create an awesome testimonial that the trainer then always want to showcase. So what happens is this kind of like a free podcast opportunity. Stages are everywhere, right? So well done, Noelle. Soraya, a win. Soraya is so shocked by her own win that she's freezing right now. So Sonia, we go to you first, and when Soraya's internet is back, we go to her.
All right, sounds good. Hello, everyone. Good morning. So nice to see your faces here today. And by the way, Soraya and I are in the same apartment right now, just in different rooms. So if she doesn't connect there, I'm just gonna ask her to come to this room and jump in. But anyways, the last week, first and foremost, the first week of Speaking Academy was absolutely amazing. You blew my mind, Lori. Like, I'm so excited about this, and I'm so excited about this journey and you sharing our wisdom with us. And for me, like just the fact that I finally made the list. I finally made the list of people that I could potentially collaborate with. And I spent so many years, like I used to be in the financial services industry for decades. And I spent my whole career building relationships. And since I got into coaching, I did collaborations, I did some stuff, but I was just staying away from so many things. So actually, because of you and because of Speaking Academy, going back to that, and okay, let's make a list and let's reach out to some of these people. And I reached out just a few of them, and I already have collaborations coming my way, like program creations, amazing podcast. And I shared with one of them what I'm working on right now, and she was like, oh my God, it's so exciting and so amazing, and I want you to talk about that on my podcast, this new project, because it's just such a it's just a breath of fresh air. And thank you so much for that.
Yes. Oh my God, that's amazing, Sonia. Like I'm hearing 2 epic things that I want to highlight. One is I already know so many people, right? If we look through the lens, okay, what is our new audience? Where are the new places? It can be overwhelming and you start from scratch. All of you have a network. You're alive. You're talking to people, right? So what if we can utilize the people that you already know? And when you're in that momentum of creating that list and think of like, oh, I only know 2. I only know like 3. Oh my God, 5. Like 30, that's a lot. But when you're in the momentum of the writing and you think like, where else do I know people? Oh my God, but this person connects me to this person. And now I remember that. Oh my God. And before you know it, you have a list of 30, you start reaching out, right? And I want to invite you to do the invitations every single week, right? Every single week, 5 per week, 1 a day. Monday 1, Tuesday 1, Wednesday 1, Thursday 1, Friday 1. You can have the weekend off even. That gives you 30 people in 6 weeks. So we still have 2 extra weeks. Like how freaking awesome is that? Right? So that's beautiful. The second thing that I wanted to highlight was, what was it? You said something really smart and it lost my mind. So I will come back to it when it comes back. Okay. But that's freaking awesome, Sonia. Oh, I remember. So you shared that, and this is a question I want to ask you. Do you know your next offer to the exact detail perfectly? Yes or no?
Mostly because it was on my mind lately. But the thing is, even when we don't know what is it exactly, it's perfectly fine. Like
Yes.
that really stuck with me like so much. Like you shared about this so much in the past, both you and Nick. And it's all about writing new offers. It's all about the creation. And it doesn't matter like we sometimes you overthink so much how it's supposed to look like exactly, instead of just getting it out there and then changing it as we go. And
Yes.
based on the feedback we receive, not only the feedback that the voices in our head are giving us, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes,
it
beautiful.
was huge for me. Thank you.
Yeah, and that is the point that you're making right here for all of us, because who sometimes feel like, okay, I can make a list, but I might not reach out yet because I don't know exactly what my offer is going to be. Wow. Almost everyone. Oh my God. Do you see, Sonia, what an inspiration you are by just sharing this win? Because what you show is, listen, this is where I'm going. This is an idea that I have, and I would love to talk about it with you in front of your people. And you're saying yes. And other people say yes, because who do people want to work with? People are just like them and where they want to go. So if you can share where you're going, and they feel the enthusiasm from your side, that's enough to have this conversation. That's enough to stand on stage. That's enough to get in momentum. Because what happens when you go onto one podcast and you have a really good relationship with the host? You say, listen, I have an idea of an offer that I want to create. Could we brainstorm about this together? Because I really think that your people really benefit from it. So what if we kind of create something together? I will do all the work. I just want your ideas on it. And you know what? When people in your audience want to go, you get a percentage. So win-win-win scenario always. That's what Sonia's doing. Imperfect actions. She's saying yes to speaking opportunities, which gives her momentum, which gives her audience. She can ask to the host, hey, do you know other people that might want to hear the story as well? What are 3 podcast people that you can think of that you can introduce me to right now? And then you start to build, and then the clarity starts to come because you're in movement. Right? So you're showing all of us that we don't need to wait for clarity. We create clarity along the way. We keep being in momentum. So that's freaking awesome. Soraya, your win. And then we're going into teaching, training, and implementing.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so just I didn't reach out to 30 people. I didn't even do a list of 30 people. But one thing that I really want to start getting more is also doing corporate workshop and talking about health and how basically health increase performance at work. And this guy, we've been talking for a while, and that's exactly what he does. Like he provide workshop for different company, law firms, management consulting firms. And that's exactly what he does. And so I have a call with him tomorrow at 6 p.m. to discuss more about this and see like what I can do to also get that more going, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited to do this. But I still need to reach out to a bunch of people and finish that list of 30. But this is one thing that is cool.
Yes, I love it. I love 2 things about this, Soraya. First of all, you say, I didn't do the list and I didn't reach out and I have a win to share. Everybody has a win to share. So never feel like, oh, I didn't do the exact assignment, so now I don't have the privilege to share a win. No, you always have to the opportunity to share a win, and that's what you're doing. And this is an epic win, and this is what today is also about. We're going to focus on the framework, and maybe part of you is like, oh, I didn't prepare this perfectly. But what happened for Soraya, right? She was present the last 2 calls, and she quote unquote didn't do the work, but she's focused on speaking opportunities now. She's focused on saying yes. And that is the momentum that we create together. And who here is inspired by Soraya's win just by her focusing on all these things? Everybody. So next time, yeah.
No, I'm impressed by all of you, by the way.
Yeah. So next time we're going to have 3 different wins from different people. So just know that you always have something to share, and that every first day of the training, every Wednesday, we will start with wins. So what I want to create for that is the momentum that we can all keep focusing on reaching out, because sometimes we forget ourselves in the crafting and then we forget to actually reach out and implement. And that's what it is about in the end. It's about the real impact in the real world. Second is that you start to focus on wins. So the whole week is like, oh, what am I going to share next Wednesday? Because Lori is going to ask for wins. So we start to focus on wins, which is really good for our human behavior as well, because we start to focus on what's going right and we build success on success. So with that said, who is ready to dive deeper into your framework of what people believe, feel, and do? All right. So in the chat, maybe Noel, we can put it in again, is the worksheet of how to go from the now into the new. At the end of the training, besides sharing a video of what your biggest breakthrough was, I would love for you to upload this frame filled in, and we're going to do it, we're going to fill it in together. So there's not extra work, we're going to fill it in together now, right? And after the training, you're going to upload the filled in document into the WhatsApp group. Cool? This will not only help you to really do it and make sure that the first milestone is achieved, but it will also help other people, including yourself, to look at what are other people doing, right? Like what are they putting in? So you get some inspiration from that. So what we are going to do first is we're going to take 4 minutes. We're going to put some nice music to brain dump everything that you have in your mind right now. We did the whole training last week about what is the belief that people are in, what is the I am statement that people create, what is the question that they ask themselves. I will put in the screen while we'll do that one of the examples that we talked about last week, so you have a visual on that. And we're going to take 4 minutes to literally brain dump everything that's in your brain now. Then we will listen to 2 other examples, and while I'm speaking about the examples, you're going to look at your own sheet and you're think, maybe I can iterate a little bit here based on this example. Oh, now I have a different way of seeing all of this. And at the end, you will have your sheet filled in, super imperfectly perfect, and that's what you're going to drop into the WhatsApp group. All clear? All right, then we're going to listen to some amazing alpha brainwaves to get you into this amazing state where you are creative, most creative, and you are going to brain dump the now versus new in this amazing worksheet that is right in the chat for you. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. one more minute. All right, are we all good to go, or do you rather have 2 more minutes to brain dump right now? Raise your hand if you are ready to go for the 2 examples. Raise your hand if you rather have 2 extra more minutes. 2 extra more minutes it is, and then we're going to the examples. Feel you're done, you can always think of what are thoughts that people are specifically thinking. Thoughts to come into their mind in the now, and what thoughts come to their mind in the new. The frame is never finished. It's always new stuff added to it. All right. You've brain dumped
Sorry, are we doing just the now or the now and the new?
the now and the new. Yes. So what we want to create is the baseline of the whole framework of the now and the new, what people believe, what people feel, and what people do. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. You can fill this in 1 minute. If I would give you like the gun on the head, it needs to be done in 1 minute, you will be able to do it in 1 minute, right? So today we're gonna just run through 2 more examples to get your brain spinning. I'm gonna tell it. After each example, we get a little time to brain dump it again and to iterate upon it. And at the end of the lesson, you're gonna share it in the WhatsApp group. So are there any questions, by the way, while dumping it down? No? We're gonna go to the first example. Are we ready for the first extra example to fill in your amazing framework? Okay, there we go. So this is a guy, and this is what I do with all the examples I give. I give examples that I really worked with. So this, for example, is Thijs. I'm gonna share my screen. Thijs is an amazing dude. Like he is from the Netherlands and he is a very passionate programmer. Okay, so he sits behind his laptop most of the time. He's really good in coding, and he was creating all these codes for people who were not doing really good stuff for the world per se. It was like, I don't know exactly what it was, like for computers and things. And he thought, how can I use my skills as a programmer, as a coder, for something that can do something great for this world? So what this question got him on is a path of new discovery, and he found his newfound like amazingness helping rangers in Africa save elephants. Well, put the story here. He's a passionate nerd and he spends most days behind his keyboard, but he really wanted to make the better place. And instead of meaningless coding, he created a system that had helped African rainforests detect elephants in the wild, and this helped them to save wildlife. Now he wants to help others to connect with their passion and create work that really contributes. So the story that I told before, that is really what Thijs was. Like I helped him to create his TEDx talk. It's online. You can even see it. It's pretty cool. And he had this just his own discovery of, okay, I have a talent. I didn't do something good with it. I pivoted and I created something that actually benefits the world. He even flew to, I believe, I don't know exactly which country, Gabon. He actually traveled to Gabon, put the coding system up in the trees, and now he's helping other people based on his journey, based on his personal stories. How can you also connect your talent to something that you actually feel good about? So what did he go through? He wanted to create the new identity. What do people believe now? And what do people believe in the new situation? They believe, I am not equipped. I am not equipped to do something like this, to really add value to the world. Like I'm not good enough. I don't have the skills, the talents, the things that I need into my life to really share that with other people. But now they believe I'm perfect as I am, and I can do something now. Right? I don't need to become this next level version that I think I need to become in order to add value to someone. I am equipped now. So in the now situation, they really think like my skills are not good enough to really change something. The world problems are too big to tackle, and my contribution doesn't make a difference. So that's what they think now, right? And in order for him to showcase what's possible, he first needs to address this here. And you know what the cool thing is? It's what he thought too in the beginning. So he was really able to empathize with people in the now because he just needed to time travel to that time and place where he felt that too. But sometimes when we're in the new, we forget all those thoughts, and that's why we put them onto paper. And another thought that they had was, I don't know what I can do. I mean, what can I do? I'm not that skilled. I'm not that talented. I don't know what I'm really capable of. All these things. He had them too. I'm just a nerd. That's the identity that he claimed. He said it so many times to me, like, Thijs, you're not. Or let's rephrase the meaning that we have with nerd. You're awesome. You can do so many things that other people don't like. So in the new, what they believe is my passion is my secret and I can change. It's just about finding the right connection. My contribution makes a difference. It's the compound effect, and I'm here to share something. And there's so many options. It's just about what makes me most happy. Thijs tries so many things. He's just a warm-hearted guy. He really wants to help the environment, and he was saving water by showering and changing plastic, all these things. And it became like this thing for him that he needed to do because somehow he felt that he needed to do it. And what he loves to do is coding. He's like, what if I can do it in a way that I really like already? And he just started to ask different questions. And that brings us to the second stage, is what do we ask ourselves, right? In the feel moment, what do they ask ourselves? The first one is, why are we ruining the planet? What are we doing wrong, you people? Why are we ruining this? This is our baby. This is our place. This is our Mother Nature, why are we ruining this? Like, answers to these questions, they're horrible answers, because this is not a very empowering question. So what he started to ask is, what can I do now that makes a positive impact in the world? It's a very different question. So when he does his talk, he brings people along the journey of what's possible, right? Because if we can change the question they ask, we change what the people will focus on, and they will come up with their own answers. As transformational speakers, you're not here to push through your epic solution. You're here to showcase to other people and tickle them internally that they actually want to change, and then you show them an opportunity. But you leave the creative freedom of how that works for them, because everybody is different. Does that make sense? I see a lot of people looking up, and I just want to tell this to you. When you're speaking in front of a group, and I will just stop sharing my screen before I do the last step. When you talk in front of people, there's a lot of different things that can happen. People can look on their phone, they can not be present in their face, they can put like their camera off, so you're like, what are you doing? Are you doing laundry and just putting me on the background? And there can be thoughts in your head that can be like, okay, what is going on? And then you start to focus on yourself, right? And then you start to focus on yourself, and you start to have these doubty fears, and then they kind of take over. And what I want to use this moment for is, when people don't immediately react, what I created in my mind is, oh my God, they're paying attention so badly. They are thinking for themselves so well. I see them looking up. I know that's the visual part of their brain they're looking into. So they are going into their own imaginations. That's exactly what needed to happen. When people are on their phone, they're so intrigued. They just don't have notes right now, and they're taking notes on their phone because they really want to capture this, right? So in the moment, we can come up with really empowering associations with behavior that you see that will help you even do better on stage, right? All right, let's go to the last one. What do people do? Well, first, you just work for yourself, right? I work for myself. I worry about the planet, and I overthink about my contribution. There are 3 things that I do. Then, oh, sorry. I choose my skill, I explore the connection, and I make the move. Those are 3 action steps. They're super vague, right? Because they could mean anything. But for right now, there are 3 steps that people do right now, and 3 steps that they do in the new, that can help you to bring that transformation to life. This is how vague it may be, okay? So we take 2 minutes right now, 2 minutes for another music moment where you can iterate what you just wrote down for yourself and use this example as inspiration. Okay, so instead of just rushing through and go to the next one, take a little bit of time, improve the current situation. And if you feel that you're already perfect, think about the thoughts they think. All right. That was the 2 minutes again. Was ready to go to the second example to listen through the lens of how did someone else go through this and how can I improve my own framework based on that. We go to Iffy. Amazing woman I worked with probably half a year ago. She's unstoppable right now. She's literally on every stage that she can get to. It's like multiple a week. And Iffy, and this is her own words, she's an autistic Black woman who got adopted. Like she started her life with what you can call disadvantage. And she got adopted. She started living in the UK. And she never really felt like she was part of anything. And she really, really needed to overcome adversity, really focus on love from within. And she really created a habit, a skill, a routine, a lifestyle, while she just loves herself, adds value to others, and learns like crazy. So now she really wants to help other people to get to the best performance they can, and most importantly, to really, really love themselves, because she really believes that from that place, you can do whatever. So basically, she's an autistic Black woman and was abandoned by her birth parents at 6 weeks old. This set her up to learn a lot about mental health and resilience. She built her way to professional dancer, actually. She was, I think, connected to X Factor at the time. And now a performance coach and speaker. She wants to empower others to love themselves and claim their potential. So when I worked with her, I did the same thing that we are doing right now. What do people do now, believe now, and feel now? So in her case, they feel that they're unlovable because all of these external circumstances. And she's like, well, that's not necessary. That's where I started, but that's not where I'm now. The new thing is I am freaking epic and I'm complete. I'm whole. I'm amazing. I can do so many things and I can learn new stuff. Right? They don't feel good enough. I cannot read my own slide. Feel they're stuck, sorry. And they're not enough. And in the new scenario, they feel, I love myself as who I am. I'm continuously learning. I'm not perfect, but I'm continuously learning. And I'm guided. And I'm always connected. There's something higher than myself. And when I tap into that, I'm always loved. I'm always guided. I'm always connected. Right? That's a more empowering place to come from. And the reason why I don't only share the specific things, but also their story, is what I hope that you will recognize yourself in one of them, either Joy, either myself, either Thijs, either Iffy, because they didn't have this perfect offer, right? They just had their own life experience. And then they created the system, and out of this system, an amazing talk came out of it. Right? And you're able to watch Joyce, you're able to watch Thijs's, you're able to watch Iffy's. Iffy's also did a TEDx. But she's doing amazing other podcasts and other things, and she's just unstoppable. So the questions that she pivoted from is, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? That was the question that they asked most often. To, how can I show up with love for myself and others even more? How can I show up with love for myself and others even more? And the even more insinuates that it's already there. So you start to focus on, oh, even more, like what other things that I'm already doing, right? That creates a whole different focus, creates a whole different language pattern, creates a whole different behavior, creates whole different opportunities. Right? If you can change the question that your audience asks themselves most often, you change their lives. You change their lives. So what do they do now? They look at the negative. They have old habits and they're doing it alone. In the new situation, they look at what's positive. They have a daily love practice and they join a community. Right? Again, this is very vague. This is very basic. These are very overarching do's, but that's really what you want to create for people to give them something what they can do now. So the goal of this framework is to have a very, very clear focus point where you're coming from. Because what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to focus on what I call story selling. It's storytelling combined with high-level sales strategy. So you're going to do story selling, and you're going to understand how you can create this into an art. Like what we're doing now is more of the science. It's more like this is the framework, fill it in, that's the baseline. We're going to dance with this framework. But what can happen, and what I saw happen way too often, is that we forget to finish the framework, or at least commit to our first iteration. And then we start to think of all the cool stories, and then you have so many ideas, and then you come to me, it's like, Lori, which story should I pick? And then the first question that I would ask is, what's the transformation that you want to create? It's like, yeah, a little bit of this and a little bit of this. It's like, okay, now it gets a lot. Right? We first want to create the foundation of the transformation. So we can always look back to, okay, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Like, does this story really add value to the aim that we want to cover? What will happen as well is when you start to learn more about storytelling and what stories you can create, you might think, wait a minute, I created this frame, but I really like this story, and this story does really make a lot of sense. Then what we want to do is we might want to go back to the framework and look, is it possible that we can change the framework a little bit? Because based on what I learned here, I might want to change it. That's totally cool. That's totally cool. That's why that's why we're gonna bring the sheet up every single week, because you might want to iterate upon it. We just want to make sure that we can have it somewhere we can look to and think, this is what I committed to. So it makes it easier in the whole journey to make your decisions. Does that make sense? Do you feel the freedom, yet the structuredness of what we're doing together right now? I want you to fill this in, to put it in the WhatsApp group. I don't need you to marry to what's in there, but we need to make a decision in the now. And if you want to change tomorrow, that's perfectly fine. But then you're going to upload it and put it in the WhatsApp again. So the last version that you put in the WhatsApp is the one that's most accurate in the moment. Okay, so you can change it every single day if you want, but you're going to commit to it and you're going to send it. Cool? Perfect. Any questions? Flavie.
I just have one, because between the two examples, I get confused if it's us or what our client are thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a question actually. I had the same.
Perfect. Perfect. So in the end, we want to create the transformation for our client, right? So the whole framework is with the mind of what is it that our client needs. Most of you will have been through that journey as well. And by crafting your own journey, it will get clear what your audience could really want, right? Because everybody here is in a different phase. Some of you know your audience super well. So it's easier to come up with those framework based on what do they tell me. Some of you are like, okay, Lori, I have like so many cool ideas. I know what I can do. I know kind of what I want, but not exactly. Then it can really help to think through the lens, okay, what is the audience that I would love to work with, and what did I go through? So in the end, the framework is for the audience. It can really help to fill it in for yourself as well, if you want a deeper understanding of who your audience actually is. Does that make sense, Flavie? Does it answer your question? Does it answer your question as well, Soraya? Because you had that question as well. Kind of. Yeah. Other questions?
It's not a question, Lori, but could you maybe share with us the other two examples that you shared now, like in a written format, so we can just have a look?
Yes, absolutely. What will happen is that the replay, and for everybody who's not here, we have Kristen. Kristen, we love you. This is the replay. You came all the way here. Good job. Share your framework in the WhatsApp as well. So you will get the replay. You will get the transcript in your external portal, and I will add the presentation there as well. So you're able
Thank
to.
you.
Is it clear for everybody how to access the portal? We did some screen shares yesterday. Perfect. Or last week. Other questions? Bring it on, my friends. We have 5 more minutes. What's up? What's up? What's up? Any questions? No?
I have one. It's just really sorry. It's like all the technical things here.
Perfect.
In the PDF, when I'm writing it the first and the third for me is the same. I start writing, and then it's the same. If I delete it, it goes back. I don't know if it's for the others as well.
Hey, Laurie, can I answer that?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so yeah, I just got the same thing, Dory.
Yeah.
So it's a glitch, so Laurie will get that sorted out. But for now, if you just put first one and then the third one / so put 2 answers into the first
Yeah.
one and then it repeats in the third one until we get it figured out. Okay.
Perfect. Super. Thank you for asking, Dory. Yeah. So a couple of things. Tomorrow, we're going to focus on how to use this framework based on your own stories, based on what frame you have, why storytelling is so freaking amazing. You're going to understand what the value is and how you can increase not only the value of the transformation that you're able to deliver, but also the value of you as an entrepreneur, because your value, your perceived value will increase. And I'm going to show you an experiment based on a monetary increase that's super freaking funny, where you will see that people are like seriously willing to pay more for something where they can attach an emotion to, even though the product stays exactly the same. So tomorrow you're going to learn how your perceived value, which is how people are seeing you, increases by you just adding stories to it. Because we know now that people buy from people who are just like them and who they want to be. But we also want to give, and therefore we also want to give them leverage on, I'm actually quite like you. So how can we create that leverage in the most optimal way? And how can we use those stories in a way that this is going to add value to our framework? So it's not 2 separate things, but it actually molds beautifully together. So we're going to dance with the framework, dance with the storytelling. What I would love to invite you to is to share a video of you in this momentum right now of what was your biggest breakthrough or aha moment of today. What I would love to do, and I did this last academy, which was a great success also for people to showcase what they were doing, is to create some sort of after movie every single week. Like, who would love to be featured in those after movies? So and so. I will send you all a private message because I just want to make sure that you feel comfortable. But it would really, really be awesome if we can use your breakthrough videos to showcase to people what you are doing. So when you're reaching out to other people, sharing what transformation you're on and that you want to get on stages, you can also share what you're doing and you will be featured there. And it will also be a tremendous inspiration for other people to see where you started and where you're going, so they are able to join your journey and really get primed on what you are doing. So I can even help you through my audience to get some eyeballs as well. So I will all private text you. So please say yes or no and feel that honest with yourself, right? On if that's something that you would love. Furthermore, that was everything I wanted to cover today. So we're going to see each other tomorrow, same time, same link, same group. All right. See you all, beautiful people. Ciao, ciao.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day.
Thank you, Laurie.
Ciao.
You rock.
All right. And Kristen is there just to say goodbye. We just finished, Kristen. The replay will be up.